Usually, when people talk about the most important elements of a good mix, they talk about EQ and compression. In my opinion, there's one thing that's often a bit overlooked, or at least not discussed as much, and that's the overall sense of space in a mix, or the way you use your reverbs and delays. There's something completely unnatural about adding reverb to a mix if you think about it. And it gets even more unnatural if you add multiple reverbs and multiple delays. When you start working on your tracks, they are dry, recorded in a studio, isolated, hopefully without the background noise, and if the soundproofing was right, you hear just the source, not the space it was recorded in. And yes, if you rule out the DIs, the sound is really never fully dry, and you can always hear some room resonances in, let's say, a vocal performance. And you may or may not like those, and it's up to you what you want to add or deduct from the initial tonal balance with EQ and compression. But when you decide in what kind of space you want to put your song in, you're making drastic changes that really make a huge difference and sculpt the emotion you're going for. Don't get me wrong, drastic EQ moves, bold compression, all of that can reshape the tone and the feel of the track immensely. But the power of spatial effects is a bit different, and it's one of the most exciting parts of my mixing process, and my own songwriting for that matter. Adding room, plate, chamber, spring, hall, or whatever type of reverb you feel works at the moment is, in my opinion, one of the most crucial decisions you'll make during a mix. And that's especially the case when you're making the sound stage bigger, or when you're adding different types of spaces in a mix. You can use only one reverb for all of your tracks if you want to make them more cohesive and, how to say, more natural sounding. I've did that several times and it worked out pretty good for the most part because I didn't have decay times clashing and overlapping each other, and those are the things that will mess up your mix if you're not careful. But there's something super exciting for me when the decays, repeats, and reflections start to clash into each other a bit. I like the feel of a guitar sound that's being sent to an 8-note delay, a really short room reverb, and a colorful whole reverb that make it sustain and bounce back and forth for days. I like the feel of a subtle 16-note delay spread on a vocal with a nice plate reverb. If you don't have a concert hall at your disposal, it's up to you to create that atmosphere artificially. And in that artificiality lays the beauty of mixing, in my opinion. You can create something that wasn't there to begin with, and that's a really responsible position to be in. So, my suggestion is take your time when you dial in your reverb and delay effects, change the decays, change the pre-delays, change the early and the late reflections, modulate them, distort them, compress them. They're one of the most flexible tools we have at our disposal. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I hope you share some of my thoughts here. If not, please do let me know in the comments. I really like getting feedback and criticism from you guys. Also, there's a lot more content like this on my YouTube channel, so if you want, you can check what's going on there and subscribe if you like what you see and hear. Thank you all again for watching, and bye.